Episode 5, folks. Episode 5. Ooh. No, let's not do that. Welcome back to Dear Queer Millennial. I'm Dr. Nate. Imagine if I had like a radio announcer's voice where it's like, welcome back to the pod. Oh, no. This is not. Oh, y'all. We're back in the studio. We're back in the swing of things. We're feeling vulnerable. We're feeling good. Had my little lunch, my little lean cuisine. That's right. I think I have like one more left. And it was disappointing. I'm sorry. I know in the last pod or a couple pods ago, I was like bragging about my HEB lean cuisines, but I don't know. It's just not giving what it gave. And I mean, I'm doing this little low carb thing, vegetables, meats, trying to, get my, it's so easy to like just eat terribly for me because I am, I just love food and I love good food. And what's really hard is the United States is, I hate to say this, and y'all, I know y'all are about to, I gotta be careful because they might deport me for saying this, but the food in the United States is generally pretty bad. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I've had the pleasure of traveling quite a bit over my life, and the American cuisine is not cuisining. I don't know what to tell you. And you're like, well, Nate, don't you eat like you're cooking at home? And I do. My husband cooks, and but we eat mostly Brazilian food, and Brazilian food is superior. I don't argue with the wall. I don't know what to tell you. Brazilian food is better than it's better than just about any food. Although I don't know, because Korean food is like, it's a fight for the top spot. Both Korean food and Brazilian food are they're pretty close as far as like which is the top. But American food is the flop. I mean, it is the Katy Perry album of food. I'm sorry, it's just not it. It's cheeseburger, girl, cheeseburger. That's it. That's German anyways. But like, I mean, some good barbecue's okay, I guess. But like, generally, like, I don't know. Although Mexican food is really good too. I mean, is there even such a thing as American food, quote unquote? I think it's more about how American food is prepared. And these lean cuisines, like the taste must come, like you have to pay extra for that. Like that must come in like you have to buy that separately with these meals. Like there's no flavor, and they're like, I'm trying to do the lower calorie meals. I'm trying to like watch oh my God, it is exhausting and I hate it, but I'm trying to, girl. I'm trying to keep, like my alter ego, Miss Big, who is like, the drag queen that's like ready to hit the buffet and like, let's get it on. That is who I am inside. I love cookies and I love cake and I want to go to the bakery. There's like an Asian bakery. It's I think it's Korean, or the company is Korean, and it's like fashioned after a French bakery, which interesting, kind of like marketing thing there. But anyways, it's so good. I could go in there and get me one of everything. Everything's cream filled. Everything has, glaze or cheese or bacon or strawberry mousse. I mean, and I could eat it all and not feel one bit bad about it. That's my problem. When I eat terribly, I love to eat terribly, and I don't feel guilt about it. That's the hard part. Like it's kind of a dangerous combo, really, where you are like, because, and I'm all about guilt-free eating. Listen, we are not about body shaming here. We are not about shaming our eating, but I am trying to, just keep my diet a little more, vegetables, fruits, meats, focus on the protein, because as you get older, you need, like, I just don't want heartburn anymore. Like I used to love. And let's have a moment of grieving on the pod, a moment of remembrance, a moment of silence for the fact that Nate can't eat pepperoni lover stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut anymore. I adored that. I loved it so much. Oh, so good. I used to work at Pizza Hut. And when I was a young lad, but a young lady, I worked at Pizza Hut. I was a server. and I would get me and I would take it home and you were not I didn't feel guilty, I didn't feel bad, I didn't feel nothing. But joy and excitement and exultation about taking home after work a stuffed crust pepperoni lovers pizza from Pizza Hut. It was so good. And then you put that shit in the refrigerator and the next morning it's cold and it's so salty and good. Problem is, about when I hit 31, 32, I started having terrible indigestion. Couldn't sleep, bad heartburn. And I know you're saying, oh, what a old lady thing to have. I had to hit the Pepsid, had to hit the Tums. I kept I'd keep a bottle of Tums in my purse, and I'd walk, and it sounded like I was smuggling maracas because of the shaking. But I needed it because my chin would hurt. It would hurt, and I told you this in a few episodes ago. I live under these if-then kind of circumstances. If you eat pizza from Pizza Hut, Nate, then you will have heartburn, okay? And it'll be like someone is camping out in your chest and they're roasting s'mores over an open flame, and so you can have the pizza, but you are going to be absolutely miserable for the night after and probably the morning, and you aren't going to sleep. Sleeping with heartburn, forget it. I might as well just, get up in the middle of the night and do housework because you're not going to sleep with heartburn. So part of what I'm trying to do with the diet and thinking about the food, the mindful eating, if you will, is eating foods that agree with me. It ain't even about weight loss. It ain't even about all that. The diet culture this or the weight loss that. It's about I need to be comfortable in my body, and a big part of that is the food I eat. There are certain things that do not agree with me, and listen, there's only so many times you can lay on the couch just praying, that you will give your life over to Christ if God just heals that heartburn or that stomach ache or that gas. Do you know what I mean? And listen, there's only a few more times that I think he's gonna buy my the bargaining phase of having that having indigestion, because it's much like the grieving process. There's denial, there's bargaining, there's anger, there's depression, there's acceptance. Okay. And that is pretty much defines how I eat food. So anyways, I'm trying to eat better. I was in Brazil for my vacation this summer and I ate like a complete asshole. I ate everything that wasn't nailed down. Okay, if it had cheese on it, it was on my plate. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And if it mooed, I stuck a fork in it. Because nobody has better meat than Brazilians. Nobody knows how to grill a good ass steak, a good ass slab of beef better than a Brazilian. Nobody. And you know what? Argue with the wall. I don't care. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we're 10 minutes into this. So welcome to the pod. I hope you are doing well, and I hope that you have enjoyed the last few episodes. This morning I woke up feeling very imposter syndrome, and I had to resist the urge to go online and delete all traces of this podcast. And then deny it anytime anybody brought it up. Because I don't know what it is. I was feeling imposter syndrome. And I said, no, Nate, the people need to hear you. And you will feel guilty for buying that podcast mic if you don't use it. And then also, if you have a podcast, you can potentially write off the podcast mic expense as a tax write-off. Because, hey, I have a podcast. Is it making money? Probably not. Never will. But so anyways, I was feeling a little imposter syndrome, but you know what? We're going to do it anyway. And this is maybe that's the cure to imposter syndrome, is doing it anyway. Okay. And I love it too, partially because I'm getting comments from y'all about stuff. Like people are just texting me or DMing me about, whatever episode they're on. And it's just so nice. There's something really comforting about feeling connected in our anxieties. That's one thing. And for so many years, I would deny myself that I had anxiety. And that's ultimately what this podcast is really kind of, the moral of it is like the story of here is, moral of story is like Nate has anxiety and let's talk about it online. It's been so nice to hear from y'all, and because it makes me feel like I'm not alone. And I hope that you know that I'm right there beside you, fighting the good fight for anxiety and just being a millennial and the absolute despair that can bring on at times. And so you're not alone. And I owe it to you. I owe it to people like me and you to keep this pod going, even when the imposter syndrome is kicking in and I want to fade into the mist from the internet. Because as I talked to you in a previous episode, I have very mixed feelings about social media, and I'm like trying to get into the algorithm now because I've been taking some of these episodes, like the recordings, and like trying to do little videos. And oh my God, if my social media is not the most half-ass attempt at trying to build a brand online, I mean, it is, because it's kind of like, girl, either you're into it or you're not. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I try to tell myself. It's like either they'll find you or they won't. But it's not going to stop us from doing what we do over here at Dear Queer Millennial with Dr. Nate. So let's get into it, folks. Let's get into it. Let's talk about my spiral of the week. This is the segment where I rant about whatever I want to rant about and why I'm currently spiraling. Never mind that we started the podcast with a 10-minute spiral. I want to spiral about my posture. I have the world's worst posture. Okay? And when you see me, look, but don't look too hard though, because you make me anxious, and then I wonder why you're staring at my shoulders. But for some reason, ever since I was a child, I have had the worst posture. My shoulders are rounded forward. I kind of got this like turtle thing going on, and like I have like this. They call it a dowager's hump. Is that what they call that? It's like when the older ladies, they kind of have, they're a little bent over, and their shoulders have rounded, and there's just like a hump, and I'm just, my posture, it's giving Quasimodo, girl. It's giving Quasimodo, she better don't. Okay. Quasimodo, she better do. Like, listen, the posture is not posturing, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I have always had this kind of like I'm shrugging indifferently, like, it is what it is. Like, I just have always, and like, so I'm like occasionally, and I've always tried to be more mindful of this, where I will like roll my posture, my shoulders back, and keep a nice posture, broad chested, and you kind of walk, but then you feel like a douchebag, and then I'm like, right now, it's either have a hump or, the perkiest man breasts you've ever seen. Right? Ma'am, I'm going to need you to put an undergarment on. I need you to put a bra on, like fully. It's either man boobs or it's a posture, or like rounded shoulders. And I can't decide which one I want. There are times where I'll be sitting at my desk and I'll like, there'll be a mindful moment of like, let me just stretch my shoulders, and I'll hear creak, 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 creak. And that's my literal spine cracking as I put my posture back in place. And I have found nothing to keep my posture. I have found nothing that helps me keep my posture, because they talk about having that string to the top of your head, and you walk and you're very proper. And it's giving gentleman, Regent Victorian gentleman, like and I can do that for about I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then my lower back starts to hurt. Maybe I'm just built bad. I don't know. I think, is it BMW, body made wrong? Okay, like something is just not giving here with this like shoulders back, and my office chair doesn't help with the posture. And I've had a lot of office chairs, y'all. I've been a therapist for a long time, and you're victim to whatever the office furniture is available to you, and some of those chairs have that lumbar support. But the problem with the lumbar support is that since I have naturally bad rounded kind of posture where I lean forward and I look a little bit like a turtle, is that like the lumbar, and then it just kind of gives you one of these where, again, your chest is out and it starts to hurt your lower back. And, I do, one of the things I have been doing, girl, is, I go to the gym. We've talked a little bit about the gym, and I'm by no means, Mr. Fitness over here, but I will say that has helped my lower back not hurt. you know. And we'll talk a little bit about more about the disaster that is, not having an ass trying to sit, okay? Like, because nothing will hurt your lower back and your shoulders than not having an ass. I mean, I'm sitting on bones back there. Do you know what I mean? Again, that's another spiral for another day. But my posture is just it's very bad. And I don't know if you all got this on your TikTok feeds years ago or months ago, whatever it was. They had these like devices that would like pull your shoulders back and like remind you, to keep a good posture. Or even they had like this thing you could put on your hump, and it was like a little, I think it would like vibrate, and it would remind you like, hey, pull your shoulders back, pull your shoulders back. And I didn't mess around with those because at this point, fuck it, like it's not, it's not getting any better. It isn't. So I just try to be mindful, pull the shoulders back. I will tell you that when you do that and you stand up straight, everything kind of aligns, and you do kind of feel like situated, right? But I don't know. The posture is something I think a lot about, and it has ruined many an office chair. And this is another little side spiral that I hate because of how bad my posture is. I cannot find a good office chair. I cannot stand office furniture. Okay. So one year at work, I went way back when I was a therapist in an actual like place. I won an inner office raffle, and I never win anything. I haven't won shit in my life. Okay. Anything. Nothing. But I did win. So I won an inner office raffle. And I think it was at Christmas time, actually. And it was like, wasn't Secret Santa. It was like pull names from a hat. And there's like, different things on a table. And if your name got called, you could go up to the table and, maybe there's like a $5 Starbucks gift card. Maybe there's a box of nice Bic ballpoint pens, all kinds of stuff. Well, I got my name called, and that year won the prize to get, right? The big kind of piece de resistance of that particular raffle put on by the office I worked for was an office chair. Okay. And I won it. I got my name called, and I got the office chair because I was like, and I wheeled that thing. And it was so crazy because I had to wheel it back to where I was sitting in this big giant conference room, because it was like a big breakfast or lunch or something that they brought us all together. And man, and when I pushed that office chair, after they said, Nate Smith, and I came up and everybody was clapping, and I said, I'll take the office chair. Thank you very much. And I took it, and like, Melina from accounting was just staring daggers at me. Like she was like, that was going to be mine. And I was like, not today, Melina. Sorry, girl. And I was pushing that office chair back to where I was sitting, with the full intention of taking it back to my office. I felt like a contestant on, The Price is Right. Like I had won the Showcase Showdown. Do you know what I mean? And so I got the office chair. And, cut to, I'm back in my office and I'm sitting on this thing, and it is the most uncomfortable chair. And this is like a $300 office chair. It is so, and it's cute. It's cute. It was like a aquamarine. It had like, the extending arms on the side, and like, it was really padded, and like it had the lumbar support, and it was giving like, upper echelon real estate agent vibes. Like it was really cute. And I would use it, and I would sit in it, and I would I would sink, and I'd turn into like a shellfish or like a shrimp, just kind of curl over. And it was terrible for my posture. I hated it. And like the wheels on the bottom, I don't know. It was bad. So I don't know. Office furniture is not conducive to good posture health for Nate. So, and listen, I've tried Pilates, okay, and I really enjoyed Pilates for a long time, and it helps, but nothing has fixed it permanently. I don't know if I need to have my shoulder blades fused to my, my sternum, and or something to help kind of just remain, And like you see, like especially like straight men who work out, like in the gym I go to is very heterosexual, and it ain't even all about the reasons why you think it's about. It's because it's like 6 minutes from my house. Okay, it's 7 minutes from my house, but it's like one of those like concrete floors. There's garage doors. There's a giant fan. There's like bros in there, like like just very that. And you know what? This is not a read. I'm not reading the straight boys and their gym. I'm just saying that's the vibe that I'm in. Anyways, what was that? What was my point to that? So yeah, okay. No, like you see those guys and they walk with them chest out like that. And I just never have been able to fix it permanently. And working out has helped strengthen the back muscles, has helped kind of get that shoulder. What it's really done is made me more aware of my shoulders. And with bad posture, y'all, this is the part that really will send me into the black hole and void and of the dark void of my spiral, is that I have a hump. Right, you can see it. It's like, I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it. But if you're listening, you're not gonna see it. Anyways, I have this like hump that if I don't pull the shoulders back, it's humpy. It's like it's hump. Like it's hunchback. I need to be ringing the bell, sanctuary ding, sanctuary dong. Like like oof. And what's even worse is that I have to shave it. I have to shave my hump. Oh God! I told you we're getting vulnerable on the pod. It is nothing. I have lost sleep over this. And I have to like bust out the Gillette razor and just drag it across the hump. And it's awful. It's awful, folks. And so what am I trying to say? If you have a hump, you are valid. If you have a hairy hump, you are valid. We are sisters. We are hump sisters. We are hairy hump sisters. If you have bad posture, you are still valid, okay? And because and it is a fight. I am working every day to pull these shoulders back, pull that that string to the top of your head, that invisible string, okay? Feet flat on the floor, very proper, very prim. It's giving royalty. It's giving Princess of Genovia. Yes, okay? So that's the spiral of the week. And let's get into the letter. This is an interesting letter today. Dear Queer Millennial, by the way, this is from Denise. Thank you, Denise. Let's get into the letter. She says, Dear Queer Millennial, I had a realization this morning, mid-email, mid-coffee, mid-spiral. Girl, same. Okay, and I haven't been the same since. She says, professionalism is just business cosplay. Like it's LARPing. And for those in the audience who are going, LARPing? LARPing is live action role play, right? So like it's the folks who go out to the park with their styrofoam swords and their Knights of the Round Table. It's like imagination time. I love it. And y'all can, you're not going to, I'm not shaming LARPing here. Not a Dear Queer Millennial. We are all barely hanging on to reality, and I am jealous of those who can let it go and just kind of ease into some kind of delusion. And LARPing, girl, if it's giving coping skill, then cope. Like anyway. So Denise says professionalism is just business cosplay, like it's LARPing. We're all just performing competent adults in blazers from Old Navy, hoping no one notices that we've been dead inside since the team building exercise at 10:15 this morning. I'm 35. I own a steamer. I write emails that include phrases like looping back, just wanted to check in on this. And yet I'm one slightly aggressive Slack message away from running into the woods and becoming a moss lesbian. Well, don't let us stop you. We love a lesbian in touch with nature. Yeah. So I'm encouraging that part. But it's not that I hate my job. I just hate doing it every day, forever. Okay. It feels like my entire identity is just scheduling Zooms, pretending to care for OKRs. What are OKRs? And I'm worried that burnout is creeping up on me. Anyway, I guess my question is, how do I perform this little work musical without fully disassociating into the Google Calendar void? Is it okay to want more meaning than circling back by EOD? EOD is corporate language for erectile. No, that's not right. EOD. What is that? Well, because ED is erectile dysfunction. Erectile optimistic dysfunction? No, that's not right. End of day. EOD is circling back by EOD, or should I just lean in, buy a standing desk, and accept my fate? With love, Denise from Elk Point, South Dakota. Well, Denise, yeah, girl. This is the hard part of our work life. Is like, I mean, a lot of it is cosplay. A lot of it is like when I realized this myself, and by the way, I am Denise. I wrote this letter. So for those who are just tuning in and haven't been with me since the first episode, these are fictional letters. And these are me talking to me and hopefully helping me out. And y'all get to, hold space for my absolute crash out. So what the work world is a giant stage, right? We, it is corporate. Well, not only corporate, but really any work where you have to go, where you wear clothes that you don't naturally would wear. And right. I mean, RuPaul said it best. She said we're born naked and the rest is drag. I mean, professionalism is drag. It really is. And what is wild about this is like we are living in a time when we are so meta about everything and not in the Zuckerberg way. I'm talking about meta, like we realize we have this insight, we have this awareness that we know what's going on. We're on to you, life. We know what the gig is up, girl. We know what is going on. So we know what's going on. But we're still going through the routine of it all, right? And there is a real theater to business. There's a real performance. I mean, it's literally called a performance review, right? Like we're literally going, you're sitting across from Teresa from HR. Teresa's like, welcome in, Nate. This is your annual performance evaluation, and we just wanted to let you know that in the last performance of this year, you were a little flat on the A flat there. I mean, like it is giving theater, right? It is giving Broadway. It is giving like curtain call. It's called a performance review, y'all. Look, so business life is, in work life is a performance, and once you know that, you can't unknow it, and it's tricky. So what do you do about it? Well, honey, that's that's a tough question because some of us. Well, like here. Okay, well, let me say this. What do you do about it? You can do a couple things. You can agree to participate and climb that corporate ladder. Okay, get that bonus, that yearly bonus, meet those KPIs, get those OKRs. What are OKRs? I have to look this up. I don't know what OKRs are. This has got to be some crazy corporate thing here. We're going to look it up. OKRs stands for objectives and key results. Oh, so it's like KPIs, which are key performance indicators. Okay, got you. Yeah, the corporate world and the initialisms are wild. And so you can choose to participate. Once you know there's the game, you can choose to play the game. And there are people who are very, very good at that game. And they're, I think of them as like ladder climbers. Those folks who are like a year here, 2 years there, 3 years here, and they're climbing up the ladder, adding little, they're adding titles to their resume or CV, like they are, like they're collecting them like Infinity Stones or Pokemon cards. Like I think they know deep down inside this is all a game. Right. And they are playing the game and they're winning, quite frankly. So that's one option. Okay. The other option is to withdraw from the game, to resign from the game, to say, nope, I didn't sign up for this. There's no rules. I don't like it. I'm out. And become, as Denise had so lovingly mentioned, a moss lesbian. I think, is that right? MOSS, like, like a lesbian who's living out. It's giving witchy, it's giving cabin, it's giving, in touch with nature, using, putting your crystals out in the garden, the fairy garden, to accept, to soak up the rays, sun rays, and recharge. I love that, which I'm about that vibe. Okay. There is nothing more comforting to me than like a crunchy lesbian. I mean, it is just where my heart is. It's home. It's home. It fills you up and it makes you feel so good. So that's an option. Okay. But there is a third option. Are you ready? So it's not that you stay in the game, you stay playing the game, but you play the game in ironically. And this, to me, this is the choice I have made. I'm still in the game, but I'm not climbing no ladders. I'm not interested in, EOD, ABC, girl, circle back, loop around, floop-de-floop, none of that. But what I'm about is playing the game ironically, pointing out the satire, and ultimately dismantling it from within. Now there is a plot twist. Okay? Because it is. Once you realize this is all for show, this is all a theater of whatever, then you can begin to manipulate the rules and have fun with it. Now, again, if you decide to withdraw from it and you say, nope, I am out, I don't want nothing to do with this. And a lot of this hits people late in life sometimes, in their 30s and 40s. And for some millennials, they are realizing that, hey, I got my MBA and these MFers, right, are like, I'm not into it, right? And so they get their MBA and then they quit their corporate job and go start a coffee cart in the park. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I will never shame a person for refusing to play in the ridiculous game that is work and that is career-oriented anything, professionalism, okay? I think it's all ridiculous. And I love playing with it. I love the drag of it all, right? And I think there in that, and that is also a choice. All choices are valid here, folks. If you say, no, you know what? This is a game and I'm going to win. As long as you know it's a game. The only thing that is required here is that you know it is not real. It is all a social construct. We have made everything up. We have made it all up. If you know that part, then I say the world is your oyster and whatever you do is valid. As long as you don't hurt people, of course. Don't be the gossip. Don't be the backstabbing Bettys of the office. Play the game fair because it's already stacked against all of us. Okay? All of us. This is capitalism. Okay? Professionalism is theater. All right? So all of it's valid. Whatever you choose to do, as long as you do it ethically, as long as you do it with good intention as best as you can, I think it's fine. Genuinely. Like, I don't fault people. And I know millennials, especially Gen Z folks. Gen Z folks do not get down with corporate theatrics. They don't really like it. I think it was really interesting because when I was coming up, oh God, here we go. Old man Nate and his old crusty stories. When I was coming up, Pride Month was not a corporate holiday. Okay. We were not acknowledged by Walmart. There was no Pride section in Target. And so, I'm split about it because I'm like, Gen Z was like criticizing that from here to hell. And I think there was some legitimate criticisms. Like, don't get me wrong. But I also think there are gays who worked really hard within the corporate setting to carve out a niche for us so that Walmart would, have a Pride section, right? And and look, I am by no means a capitalist, okay? And in fact, I'm fairly anti-capitalist when it comes to most things. Well, there are certain things. We can get into that. I'm not trying to be like political here. That's not what I'm about. Oh God, I'm already getting anxiety. Like my stomach is already hurting thinking about politics. What I'm getting at is like the younger queer Gen Z folks were pretty, they're pretty critical of corporates and this and that, and with good reason. And if you like Nate's a fence sitter, well, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to get at though is that there are queer folks, particularly millennials, who work in corporations, who are trying to push these giant multi-billion-dollar, constructs in the right direction. And I think they deserve some, to be noticed. So, and some awareness and so again, there's nothing wrong with it. As long as you're doing it ethically, you're doing your best. You're doing your best, because that's all we can do, folks. Nobody's perfect. I hate to tell you. Despite what people will have you believe, we all take shits. Nobody's perfect. Okay? So with that, with Denise, you have some choices, honey baby girl. Like, you can refuse to participate and give it the middle finger. I'm out. Right? And you can do that. And it's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Now, you will have needs that need to get met. Okay? You will need to figure out a way to pay your bills, food to eat, place to live, transportation, all those things. But that is an option. And I would support it either way. Or you can play the game, play it honestly, play it ethically, but you can play the game. Or you can play the game, but ironically. And to me, that's what I'm about. I love that. Ooh, I love it. I love it. And so, yeah. So, dear queer millennial, you have a choice. Play the game, don't play the game, or play the game, but ironically. I think those are your options, Denise, and I really hope that helps. And this is true for any of you that are out there navigating professionalism going, none of this is real. None of this is real. It's all fake. Let me be the one to validate you, okay? LinkedIn will gaslight you into believing it's real. LinkedIn is, oh God, LinkedIn is the fake nice lady who is checking you into the hotel. Hi, did you enjoy your stay at the Hilton? Did you? Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so excited to announce that I'll be joining such and such LLC as the Vice President of Operations in North America. You are not. You're faking it. You're lying. Okay, you are acting like this is acting. This is straight theater. You deserve a Tony for what you are doing. As a matter of fact, they need to include a section in the Tonys for corporate theatrics. Okay, and your LinkedIn people, like, they are on there fully giving award show speeches. Like, I want to thank for my opportunity. Like, it is. And I can't get into it. Well, I was into it for a minute. I bought into it briefly, especially when I was like fresh out of my PhD, even fresh out of my master's. Like, it took some time in between. And I bought into it. And I was like on there, and I had my little headshot, and I had my corporate this and that. And, I work in a different industry than corporate necessarily, but professionalism. Okay. As you can see, from this episode and the last 5 episodes, there is nothing professional about me. I am not a professional in the sense that I am, if you're looking to me as like a mentor for how to deal with like professional issues, baby, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. All right. So that's the letter of the week. Let's talk a little bit about required reading this week. Required reading are the things I love, are the things I enjoy. And this week, my required reading is walking the dog. Okay, I know what you're saying. Nate. What, like, really? Yes. Walking the dog is one of the things that has created such joy in my life. And I'm starting to get into this like life coachy sound, and I'm sorry, that's not what I'm trying to do. It's just that it's one of those things that's free. It's one of the very few things in life that are still free. you harness up the dog. I got my little golden doodle. You harness up the golden doodle. Maybe it's me and my husband. Maybe it's just me and a pair of headphones and a good audio book. And I go and I walk. I love to walk. I'm about walking. We live in a country that actively discourages you from walking, which is like among the most basic exercises that we can get. Okay. And then turns around and like, this is a side note, by the way. Our country is so messed up. Like our culture is so, I'm trying to refrain from using the F word here. I know I used it once already, but I'm really trying to, but it is so messed up because the one thing that provides you movement and mobility and exercise, if you're able to walk, it is walking. But it actively discourages walking vis-a-vis our terrible infrastructure. Oh my God, walking in this country is an absolute nightmare. Okay, trying to like finding spaces to walk, like it's just awful, and especially in Texas. Especially in Texas, there's a few places here and there, but for the most part, like if I wanted to walk to the grocery, like a side note, oh my God, this is supposed to be things I like. These are things that bring me joy. But walking for me, when we live in this country where it's like it actively discourages us from walking, but then shames us for struggling, for those who are, trying to be on a weight loss journey, trying to be on a fitness journey, and that it discourages access to among the most easiest, like exercise. It's not easy for everybody. I understand, and I'm not making generalizations here, folks. Calm down. Calm down. I recognize I'm making generalizations. What I'm saying is that it is such a paradox that's unfair and quite frankly, it's bullshit. Like it's bullshit that we live in a place that actively discourages walking. Okay. And when it's one of the most beautiful stress relievers, it is so good. When I finished defending my dissertation after 2.5 years of literal pure stress and coffee, the only thing I wanted to do, I had to defend 2.5 years worth of work in 45 minutes. It was the most high pressure scenario I've experienced to date in my life. Okay. And when I did, you know what I did afterwards? I went on a walk. Me and my husband harnessed up the dog and we walked 3 miles, baby, 3 miles. And I came back, adrenaline had drained. My anxiety was humming at a nice 3 out of 10, which is about where it lives normally. And I was feeling good by just walking the dog. And sometimes like when I'm stressed out, I get an email that pisses me off. Or if I have a work call that pisses me off. I have the luxury, thank you, of being more in control of my schedule that allows me to do these impromptu. I'll go on a walk. I will walk, and you will know how pissed off I am by how long I take to walk. If it is a quick 15, 20-minute jaunt around the neighborhood, If it's 2.5 hour journey from here to Jerusalem, yeah, Nate's struggling. But either way, most of the time when I go on a walk because my dog is fabulous. I love my dog. He's super adorable. Loves to walk. Good exercise for him. Keeps him mobile. He's an inside dog most of the time otherwise. He doesn't really go outside. And it's too hot sometimes. But when we walk. And he likes it and I like it. And it's just it's just good. So if you can, and I know, and look, treadmills, I'm really, 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 I don't love treadmills. Treadmills are weird. They're hard to walk on in general. I think. We're going to inventory the imperfections of Nate's body as this podcast progresses. One being the hump and bad posture, but the other, I kind of walk a bit like my feet are pointed out, and walking on a treadmill, my foot gets caught on the side off the belt. And so sometimes it like can fuck with my, F-bomb number 2, getting too comfortable. Episode 5, you're too comfortable, Smith. Keep it clean. But yeah, the treadmills are just not, I don't know, they're just not very conducive to like good. So anyways, all I'm trying to say, required reading for the week. Find the thing in your life that brings you joy. And if you don't know what it is, go for a walk. Get yourself your headphones, cue up some good music, cue up an audiobook, cue up Dear Queer Millennial on the podcast, and go for a little walk if you can, if it's safe, because I think it's good for your mental health. It's free most of the time. I understand there are limitations, but it is it helps. It really helps. It helps me. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. We are halfway to our goal of 10 episodes. For those who don't know, if I make 10 episodes, I will be commissioning on Upwork or one of those, like, I don't even know, like those websites where, like, the freelancer websites. I'm gonna get me a little theme song for the pod, but we'll see. I don't know. We're halfway there. I'm a known abandoner of hobbies, as I've said before. I started the show feeling imposter syndrome, and it's an ongoing battle. So we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, thank you so much for checking me out. I wish you good mental health, and go on a walk. Go on a walk. Take care of yourself. Till next time.